fellow fantasy GMs. I am JJ Wang. He is the bearded one, DJ Dove. And with our powers combined, we are the Fantasy Couriers.
What is up, JJ Wang? This is our very special week. We have Listener Appreciation Week, bringing in some of our favorite fans, some of our biggest supporters we've had as we are starting the podcast. We couldn't do it without these awesome, amazing people. Our first special listener episode we have is Keep Trade Trash. And without further ado, let's begin. Keep Trade Trash. We have two of our greatest friends and fans here that are joining us today for our special Keep Trade and Trash segment. We have Ricky and Alyssa here. Well, Ricky, tell us about your fantasy background, maybe your favorite team, maybe a player you like. Give us like an intro. Tell us about yourself.
Fantasy background. I've been playing fantasy probably for over 20 years. The guys I used to work with, they tried to talk me into it for a year, and I said no, not interested, because it was $100 buy-in league. So that first year I said no, and then the next year they kept at me to do it, and I finally gave in, and I've been doing that league for about 20 years now, and it's $100 still buy-in. So yeah, it's my most expensive league, but love it. Love getting together with the guys. I always said the funnest part of fantasy is the draft. After that, it's pretty much agony, I think.
Yeah, right. So are you a bigger fan of Dynasty or Redraft?
I love the auction league. The auction league is my favorite. Oh yeah, by far.
Best day.
It's pretty fun.
It's because your dynasty team keeps
and to be honest, the keeper league that we're in, the dynasty league that we're in, I mean, I've enjoyed it. I actually won it one year, but it seems like to me, the teams that are stacked are the teams that win year after year. You know what I'm saying?
I know who he is.
Yeah, it's like two or three teams that are absolutely stacked because hey, it's a keeper league, and you have to wonder if I wonder if my team's ever going to get good enough or again to win the championship. It's going to take a long time probably.
Oh, you got those receivers. It's a matter of getting that running back in there, which I think you grabbed him this year because you snaked Najee Harris from me.
Yeah,
and that was
I did get Najee
little pickup there. So, Alyssa, I met you a year and a half ago. I think we started joining one of our leagues you got in. Tell us how you got roped into that, or what's your favorite part is of it. Or I'm looking at JJ up there dancing around.
I got roped into it because of Alan and Jason.
That's how it all started. That's how all my group started. I just roped everybody into it, and now we got a whole crew.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if I have a favorite part.
Well, we'll get to it. It's still like, you've been doing it for 2 years now, I guess? 3 years?
Like 3, yeah.
Yeah, she roped in. She got a dead team, and she's been picking up and rebuild like a champ.
Yeah,
I forgot all about that. That's right. So I forgot all about we had one guy quit after that first year because he traded all of his picks away. Didn't like his team, so he said he didn't want to do fantasy anymore. Then he turns around and joins another, he didn't want to do dynasty anymore. Then he turned right around and joined another dynasty league so he could start all over and hopefully do better the next time around. It happened. I'm sure that's the way dynasty works all the time. So. In and out.
But yeah, you've been a trooper sticking through. Like you're in total rebuild mode, but trooping through.
Yeah.
And this
Definitely.
year, I think you got a chance to hit the playoffs after digging that guy's dumpster fire out of the dirt.
It only took 2 years.
Well, that's dynasty though. That's some of it takes.
Yeah, I mean, you got your 2 quarterbacks now. ATN getting hurt really put a damper on things, but
she did get the best part of the draft. She had the 3 and the 4 pick of our rookie draft this year. So I had 1. I took Trevor Lawrence through a trade. The guy at 2 was like, there's no way that she is going to take 2 quarterback league. So he took Najee Harris. Alyssa then goes, we're all laughing. Like we're in this basement laughing our brains out. Dude, you got to take Trey Lance and Justin Fields. So she walked away with Trey Lance and Justin Fields, and the guy had the guy that had 2 had to pick after her. He's losing his mind. He's like, "What just happened? How did I, there's no way. Who's going to take 2 quarterbacks?" She totally jumped on it, and he got screwed, but he did walk away with Mac Jones, which is looking.
Well, the worst part, well, not the worst part about it, but the night before, I told him that if you take Najee Harris, she is going to take both quarterbacks. I told him that multiple times. He was like, "No, why would she do that?" I was like, "You're going to see." And then what happens the next day? He takes Najee Harris, and she takes the 2 quarterbacks, just like I said. See, that's why everybody got to listen to me. I know what I'm talking about, man.
And now she's going to be queen of the world for the next 10 to 15 years with those 2 studs. Oh, my goodness. So here we go. We're going to do a segment here called Keep Trade Trash. I'm going to list 3 players. We're going to do 3 different categories. We're going to do quarterbacks, running backs, and rookies. You choose one player that you would keep on your team. So we're thinking we're looking at the leagues are going to be a 1 quarterback, half point PPR. We're thinking it's just we're just looking at this year. We're not going to look at dynasty, so it's a redraft league for this year. So one player, like, I'm going to keep this guy on my team. One player, I'm going to try to trade this guy away and get as much as I can for him. And one player, you got to throw to the trash heap. Now, none of the guys we're going to listen to this day would we ever suggest anybody to trash and throw to the waiver wire. If you do, just stop playing fantasy football, or you're in a 2-team league. That's pretty much where you would have to be, because we're using big names here. So we're going to start with quarterbacks. We've got the quarterbacks we're going to discuss today are Tom Brady, Josh Allen, and Aaron Rodgers. And we're gentlemen here. So ladies first. Alyssa, you have Tom Brady, Josh Allen, and Aaron Rodgers. Who would you keep? Who would you trade? And who would you throw to the garbage pile?
Okay. We would keep Aaron Rodgers.
Ooh.
Of course.
We will drop Tom Brady, and we will trade Josh Allen.
So what's your reasoning behind keeping Aaron Rodgers and trading Josh Allen?
Aaron Rodgers has at least 5 years left.
Ooh, hot take.
Allen. I don't know.
I think you probably did the right thing. My thing would keep Aaron Rodgers, being that Josh Allen probably has the most trade value out of any of them, probably because he would probably finish the highest ranked quarterback. So yeah, you would probably keep Aaron Rodgers. Him and Tom Brady are actually probably going to have about the same season, honestly, I think, points wise. But you could probably get more in return for Josh Allen than you could for any of the other ones, I would guess. That's how I would go with it.
Hot take. What are you thinking there, Ricky?
I'm thinking I'm keeping Josh Allen, and I'm trading Aaron Rodgers simply because I don't think Rodgers is going to be a Packer next year. I'm just it seems like it's going that way.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And I don't know where he's going to end up or where he's going, but I just don't know. You don't know if he's going to have the same talent that he has right now on the Packers team as far as receiving core.
So you're looking more dynasty perspective as you're looking with these 3 guys when you're hitting them that way, when you're going with them.
Yeah.
If I were to zig and zag with all of you, I do have Tom Brady. We mentioned on the show a few days ago. I think Tom Brady could end the year as QB1. I just hate the guy because I'm a Dolphins fan. He's made my life misery for my entire adult life. So based upon that, don't I have to keep Tom Brady?
Yeah.
Like, I was going to keep Josh Allen, but JJ Wang there said that makes sense. Like, Josh Allen's the guy I could get probably a stud receiver, stud running back in a trade. And then that means I got to take the prima donna. I'm going to send the prima donna, Aaron Rodgers, to the trash heap. So I guess I got to put my money where my mouth is and rock some Tom Brady, trade some Josh Allen, and send Aaron Rodgers to the trash heap. So JJ Wang, or you said you're flowing with Alyssa, right?
Not really. I don't know if everybody knows, I'm not a huge Aaron Rodgers fan. Never really been a big fan of the guy. So it pretty much comes down between who am I keeping between Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, because I am going to trade Josh Allen just because of the value. And I love Tom Brady. I think he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. So I'd probably keep Tom Brady. He's going to kill it this year, as always. And nothing makes me happier to say I'm throwing Aaron Rodgers in the trash can. Yes.
With our powers combined.
Yeah. So the next one is running backs, correct? We're gonna try running backs next.
Mm-hmm.
You want to run those by me because I can't figure out.
So
which
running
one-
backs, we're looking at the top 3 running backs in football. We have Christian McCaffrey, Dalvin Cook, and Alvin Kamara. I wouldn't throw any of these guys away.
No,
So
no.
Ricky, lead us off with these guys.
I'm definitely keeping McCaffrey, and I would be willing to. I don't know. I'm gonna say
This is
God,
a
that's
Sophie's
tough.
choice, guys.
Tough. I would probably drop Alvin Kamara.
Wow. So you're trading Dalvin Cook.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
why drop? Because the question for all of us is like, why do we choose the guy we're going to drop? We know the value of these 3 guys is out the roof to trade. No matter who you trade, you'll be like, yeah, I'm getting $1 bajillion for him. But why would you drop Kamara over Cook or McCaffrey?
It just seems like he has had so much work, over the years. And I mean, I know he's still healthy and is going to produce, but I just think if somebody would go down next, it probably would be him. And of course, it's just a guess, but
Yeah. Oh, we're not dropping these guys anyway. If I had all 3 of these guys,
Yeah.
I'm winning a championship.
right.
And the only thing, the biggest thing with Alvin Kamara is just how's he going to work with Jameis Winston and not Drew Brees? Because we all know Drew Brees really didn't throw the ball 15 yards down the field. That's about as far as he would go. And Alvin Kamara was just always open. He's just coming out of the backfield. Can't no linebacker keep up with him. And we all know Jameis doesn't throw the ball 15 yards or shorter. He drops that thing 65 yards at a time. So unless Alvin Kamara turns into a deep threat wide receiver, I mean, he really could be a down season for him. Technically down season, but
Yeah.
For a top 5 running back.
yeah, he's about down as you can get. What about you, Alyssa? What do you got here?
I have keep Alvin Kamara, drop Dalvin Cook, and trade Christian McCaffrey.
That's probably the route I was going to go, just because you can probably get so much more back in return for McCaffrey than you can for any of the other ones. Then I would, between Dalvin Cook and Alvin Kamara is a really tough. But I'd probably keep Dalvin Cook, I guess. Because he just hasn't finished as that number 1 running back, and it's hard to repeat as a number 1 running back. So I'd probably keep Dalvin Cook and drop Alvin Kamara. Man, that sounds crazy to say, but
Oh no, this is going to be the best one. We're going to have 4 different takes on this. I'm with Alyssa. I'm keeping Kamara. I think with Jameis is going to inject something into that offense, and Jameis isn't stupid. Like he's going to sling to those schmuck receivers he's got, and to Juwan Johnson, of course.
Of course.
But it's my boy. But Alvin Kamara, he knows where his bread's buttered. Alvin Kamara is going to do what he does. He's going to get tons and tons of receptions. He's going to run the ball. He'll get some relief from Tony Jones, of course, to throw in some more amazing players you'll never hear of again. I am going to then trade Dalvin Cook. He was the hottest player last year. He put up stats galore. I have him as my RB1 this year. So why not trade my RB1? And CMC's coming off of injuries. So I think he's going to have that right now, the Deshaun Watson thing, where people are going to try to get him for pennies on the dollar, because they're going to be like, well, he was injured. I can't give you a top flight player for CMC. So I got to send Christian McCaffrey to the scrap heap. But that's my only reasoning, is because he's getting that injury. So is the injury going to continue to go with him? Is someone going to try to nickel and dime me for him when they'll be like, hey, Dalvin Cook was number 1 last year. Boom, money as we go forward. So once again, if you're listening to this and you just turned us on for some weird reason, you went to the middle, do not drop any of these guys. If you do, quit football right now and try baseball or basketball.
If you're in my league, go ahead and drop him.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean,
as long as Lance isn't on the computer before us.
So, I mean, you would think at some point McCaffrey's going to stop getting 95% of the workload, right? I mean, that's what he's been getting. Like, I guess it's his last healthy year. I mean, it's the only person they got. They brought in a couple running backs to try to give him, I guess, some help. But like, I think they signed Royce Freeman. Did they claim Royce Freeman off the waivers? And then they had Chuba Hubbard. I don't know if any one of them is going to be anything, but at some point you got to give McCaffrey a break. He just can't continue going out there touching the ball 400 times. He's not the size of Derrick Henry. So, I mean, yeah, it would make sense because his work's going to go down a little bit eventually to drop him. It's just that'd be a tough situation.
So our last one, you can decide how you want to answer this question because really rookies, you're not going to expect a super ton this year. You can decide when you're giving your response if you want to look at it dynasty, because all four of us do play dynasty, or if you want to look at it redraft. We're looking at three of the hottest commodities in rookies. We're looking at Trevor Lawrence, Najee Harris, and Kyle Pitts.
He gets a double fist, not just a single. Kyle Pitts gets a double fist.
So you can say, what do you consensus? Should we talk about this dynasty perspective, or should we talk about this redraft?
I think we should probably go dynasty on this one because, like you said, none of these guys have really done anything in the NFL. Whenever you think of Kyle Pitts, Trevor Lawrence, Najee Harris, you probably automatically think dynasty because that's where their value lies the most. Except Najee Harris. Najee Harris is probably actually going to be the one that would be in the redraft mode this year. But to make things simpler, let's just stick with the dynasty option here. Make it a little easier.
So, Alyssa, Kyle Pitts, Trevor Lawrence, Najee Harris. We're looking at one quarterback leagues. Who would you keep? Who would you trade? Who would you trash?
I'm going to keep Trevor Lawrence. Ooh. And I'm going to trade Kyle Pitts and drop Najee Harris.
And that is tough. What about you, Rick? How would you do that one?
Well, I was lucky enough in our dynasty league to draft Trevor Lawrence and Najee Harris, even though Adam thought my Trevor Lawrence pick was not good. And he's got a point. It was one quarterback league, so maybe that was a little bit early, but still, I'm happy to have him. I'm going to go right with what Alyssa said. If I had to choose, that's what I would.
So you're keeping Trevor Lawrence, dropping Najee Harris, and trading Kyle Pitts.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So looking at it, I'd probably keep Najee Harris. Just trade Kyle Pitts because he is averaging 27 yards per catch in the preseason. So, I mean, that is insane. Granted, he only had one catch, but it was very impressive. So, I'll probably go ahead and drop Trevor Lawrence just on the fact, there's one quarterback. I feel you can get any kind of quarterback in those leagues. But, yeah, I think I'm going to keep Najee Harris because I think he's just going to pound the rock and just have a great year. And Kyle Pitts, just trade him on name recognition alone. He'll get you a boatload of stuff.
So based upon what you just said, JJ Wang, Ramondre Stevenson's going to be the best running back in the league if we're basing it on preseason action. But we'll leave that one there as we.
I have him too. Also have him in the keeper league too.
Yeah, we'll talk about that one later.
But you're going to be shocked, JJ Wang. I'm going to keep Kyle Pitts.
Wow.
This is dynasty.
After all that you talk about.
I'm keeping Kyle Pitts because it is dynasty, and dynasty is forever. And if Kyle Pitts, I'm not sure if Kyle Pitts is the next Gronk. He's on my team for the next 10 years. Najee Harris is who I would trade because he's a 3-down back, and Steelers fans will trade anything. So why not throw him out there, get some value for him? And I didn't realize it when we put it together. We probably shouldn't have thrown Trevor Lawrence in a one quarterback discussion because in a one quarterback, you drop the quarterback most of the times because quarterbacks are a dime a dozen per se. And that's why I would drop Trevor Lawrence. I think he's going to be awesome. Like I think these three guys if I had these three guys on my team, I'd be very happy. And that would be close to your team in our new startup draft. But those are three tough choices. But yeah, I'd go Kyle Pitts just for the longevity. and just hope that the quarterback after Matt Ryan will still pepper him with targets. So, but that was
so real quick before you go back, I don't consider Kyle Pitts the next Gronk. They're totally different players. Kyle Pitts is never going to line up on the line and block anybody. That's not what he does. I think he's more of a Darren Waller type, maybe a better. I don't want to say better Darren Waller.
Yeah, actually, that's a better comp. Yeah,
I think because Waller does. I don't think Waller ever lines up on the line either. I mean, if he does, I'm sure he's not blocking anybody. He's just running out there in wide receiver formations. But yeah, I would consider Pitts another Waller instead of Gronk or even Kelsey, because Kelsey even blocks a lot on the line. He's a pretty decent blocker as well. I just don't see Kyle Pitts he's a tall dude, but I don't think he's really built for the blocking type.
Yeah, he's the new. That's a better comp. Yeah, Gronk was the only name in my head, but Waller is an excellent comp as to where he's gonna go. So, but Alyssa, Ricky, you all we're grateful to you guys. Alyssa is like our social media Twitter forte pusher sponsor. If you see her posting on there, what's your handle again? Do you want to share your handle on the pod?
I don't even know what it is, honestly.
But it's a good Twitter account. She talks about being a mom and being a great mom, and it's good to see her on there and supporting the show she shows through. Ricky was our first official website emailer. He supports us. I see him pop up as a visitor to the website, a proud supporter. He'll send me messages about the podcast. So thank you all for being supporters. Keep on with us, JJ Wang. I think we should have them rock out with us as you take us to end the show.
Yeah, no problem. Like I said, thanks for joining us in. Hopefully we can do it again sometime. This was fun, a little something different for us. Instead of just talking back and forth to each other, we actually get different people to talk to. But yeah, just looking forward to a great season. Like I said, we're in multiple leagues together, so I'm sure we'll be chatting it up all year. And as always, trust yourself and trust the process.